a few minutes to go before we go to break. Please set it
Yeah.
up.
Well, so how I'll start it off. So I wish that I wish that everybody, when they entered the relationship with a real estate agent, entered it from the same focal point that they did with like your trusted attorney or financial advisor, right? I unfortunately, a lot of people distrust real estate agents, and some of them rightfully so. But here's the reality: in order to win in this competitive market, you need to be in a trusted relationship with your real estate agent. You need to hold them in high regard. And here's how that's important. So when I meet a new client that's never worked with me before, it takes some time to build that trust, right? And when I share through education the things that a buyer must do in order to win in this competitive market, it's easier if that trust is there, right? I think too many times the customer is thinking of the agent as like a used car salesman or whatever. The reality is you're like dating for like months until you're successful, and you're building a really strong bonded relationship. And if it doesn't feel like that, two things are going to happen. You're probably not going to have a great experience with your agent, and number two, you're probably not going to win, right? Because real estate is high stakes right now. If you're considering purchasing a home, you're probably going to be competing with at least 10 other offers. And in order for you to win, there's a very specific way that you must write your offer to even have a snowball's chance in heck of winning. And so I could fill you up, Tom, with consultation stories about how we're educating our buyers on the 4 or 5 things that they must do in order to win. And then a lot of times the feedback from the client is, I didn't have to do that the last time I bought a home. And the reality is, if you bought a home more than 4 years ago, everything you knew about negotiating for real estate is irrelevant. None of it applies, right? None of it all. Nothing that you used 5 years ago would help you to win today.
That is so unbelievable. But you know what? Yeah. It's all about the education here. Let me reset this, Brock, because we're gonna come up on break. That was a great lead in, by the way. And I've got several things I want to springboard off of that, everybody, when we come back. Trends you need to know in real estate. Brock's with us, Brock Fletcher, my brother from another mother. These, and what Brock was saying about the education, I've said this story many times, everybody, about how when Brock and I first met at the radio station years and years and years ago through Dave DeMarco, he came up and he was very kind and gave me some really good advice. And that's what launched us. And that was about a year and a half before we got things going on our changes. And that's what we're going to talk about here, because he's our guy. We trust him implicitly and we love him. Brock Fletcher, trends you need to know in real estate. It's a Tom Mann Show.